Welcome to AVS Computer Science. I am Aditya and I am here to teach you all the subjects and topics of computer science which are relevant to GATE syllabus. These videos will be helpful for those students who are preparing for GATE and other competitive exams like ISRO, DRDO, PARC, etc. Okay. So here what I will do, I will teach you all the theoretical concepts with the examples, and also I will solve all the numerical numerical questions from the previous year GATE paper as well as from ISI, ISRO, CMI papers. Okay. So today I will start with the subject operating system. So let's begin with OS. So let's start with the formal definition of operating system. What is operating system? Just see here. Operating system provides an interactive environment between the user and the software hardware resources. So here operating system acts as an interface with the help of which a user can interact with software as well as hardware resources of a computer. Okay, so here who is user? You are a user because you are using the computer. And why you are using the computer? In order to access hardware resource or software resource according to your requirement. For example, suppose you want to play a game. So what you will do? You will switch on your computer and one Windows screen will come. There you will see a gaming icon. You will click on that icon and after some time, your game will start to play. So here you see, you are not worried about how the things are getting done internally. Actually here what's happening? Here operating system is acting as an interface between you and your gaming software. With the help of this interface, you can interact with your game. Because what's actually happening after clicking on the game icon, there are some internal system calls are being done that we are unaware about it. Okay, and don't worry, I will tell you about system calls at the end of this topic. Okay, so there are some internal calls, system calls which are being done, and operating system supports all these system calls. And with this system calls, after some time, your game will start to play. So, and another example is that suppose you want to access your computer which is kept at certain distance. So what you will do? You want to get your printout copy. So when the PDF will come on the screen and the top there will be one print button. So after clicking on that button, your printer will get activated and after some time you will get your printout copy. So here you see, although printer is kept at certain distance, but with the help of the operating system which is present in your computer, you can access your printer without even touching it. So here operating system is playing a very important role. So just imagine if there would have been no operating system, then you see the work would have been very tedious. In order to do even a very simple task, you would have to write lot more lines of code. Nowadays, what's happening? You see, you are a user. You can easily interact with the software or hardware resources with the help of operating system. Here, operating system is providing the interface. But suppose if there would have been no operating system, then just imagine the scenario. You would have to write several lines of code just in order to interact with the required software or required hardware. according to your requirement. Okay, so you just see how operating system has made the things easier today. So nowadays we are using operating system like Windows, Windows 10, Windows. Earlier we were using Windows 7. Okay, so in today's operating system, it's very simple to access all the resources of the computer. And the second point is user friendly. You see, today's operating system are very user friendly. Just in order to play a movie, even without a basic knowledge of your computer, you can simply play a movie on your computer just after clicking the movie folder, selecting one movie, clicking on it, and after that your movie will play. Just see here, after just with the help of a mouse and after clicking 2 or 3 times, your things are getting done. Why? Because today's your operating system are more user friendly. Okay, because today's operating system are very user friendly. You see, there are millions of users who have smartphones. Even though they don't have knowledge about how to operate computers, but despite having less knowledge about computers, they are using the Android phones. Why? Because Android is a very user friendly operating system. Here you can use all the apps, you can access all the apps without having too much knowledge about the software. Okay, so that is called user friendly. But in earlier days, there used to be DOS operating system, disk operating system. It was not user friendly at all, because in order to access this operating system, you would have to memorize lots of commands. Even just to open a directory or make a directory or open a file, you would have to write certain commands. So for that, there were several commands available, and the headache was that to memorize all the commands. So that's why scientists and engineers, they focused more on user friendliness. As a result, today's operating system are more user friendly. Okay, here today you don't have to learn any commands. Okay. And the third important point is that operating system allocate resources to processes. So you see how here, suppose you are doing one task. Okay, you want to run a program, and in order to run a program, your program needs an input value. So how you will provide the input value? By pressing a key on the keyboard. So here operating system will provide you an access of keyboard, so that after using that keyboard and after clicking and after pressing one key, the value will be immediately given to the program and your program will run successfully. Okay, so here how the things are getting done, you see, there are several jobs, job J1, job J2, job J3. Job J1 needs keyboard, job J2 needs scanner, job J3 needs printer. And here it's a it's a duty of operating system to provide resources to a particular job according to the requirement. Here, the operating system takes care of certain facts like that no two jobs can access the same resource at a time. For example, here you see printer. When J3 is printing, then operating system makes sure that J2 should not access the printer when it is being used by J3. Because if it happens, then just imagine the result. Okay. So, it's a So it's a duty of operating system to allocate resources to processes, and also it takes care of the fact that no process should disturb other process. Okay. Third point is that it manages memory space and files. Manages memory space and files means what? From user's point of view, I tell you, suppose you have a folder in your drive. Suppose you have a folder in D drive, and that folder is not in use. So what you will do? You will simply delete that folder, and after deleting, what will happen? There's space will be created, free space will be created, and that free space can be allocated for other purpose. So suppose after deleting that folder, some free space is created, okay, and you want to again create a new folder. Then what will happen? That new folder will occupy that space. Okay, so that's why operating system manages memory space and files in this way. And another example is that you might have heard about a term RAM, RAM, RAM. It is also known as main memory. Here what happens? In order to run any program, the program must be brought to the RAM. Okay, the program must be brought to the RAM so that it can run. So suppose in a RAM there are three processes, although several processes can reside in a RAM, but to make you clear, I am just giving you an example of three processes. So here there are three processes. Okay, and the requirement of process P1 may be 100 kilobyte. Process P2's requirement may be 200 kilobyte. Process P3's requirement may be 150 kilobyte. So here operating system allocates space in the memory for each programs. Okay, so in this way operating system manages memory space. Okay, and now comes to the, yes, here I missed another important point, protection. Here operating system also plays an important role in protection. How? You see, suppose there are three processes in the RAM, then operating system takes care of that no process should try to access the region which is provided to other process. Suppose P1 cannot enter into the region of P2. If these things will happen, then there will be a segmentation fault. You might have learnt in C programming. But don't worry, after some time when I will teach you C, then on that time you will get a clear concept about segmentation fault. But here I am giving you a brief introduction. Operating system takes care of the fact that no process should try to access the process which is provided to. No process should try to access the region which is provided to other process. Here P1 cannot enter into the region of P2 when this region is being utilized by P2. In this way, P2 cannot enter into the region of P3. So in this way, operating system provides a protection for each process. And also from user's point of view, suppose you have one folder, okay, and you want to make it as private. You don't want others to use that folder. You don't want others to access that folder. Then what you will do? In the settings, you will go and you will make it as private. So when others will try to access it, then there will be definitely an access denied to others. Okay, so in this way, operating system provides protection. So now, let's come to the types of OS. So I have already covered four points of operating system: 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 points of operating system. Here I forgot to write. Protection. That's why I have written here. Okay, so don't confuse. So now let's start with the types of operating system. The first one is batch operating system. What is batch operating system? In earlier days, what used to happen, there were very few computers, and also the technology was not advanced. Okay, so on that time, what used to happen? With a suppose in a company there is only one computer and there are several jobs to be executed, then what used to happen? You see, there is one computer and there are 3 jobs, and this computer is using batch operating system. So what used to happen? Computer used to take job one by one in the sequentially and produce the result sequentially. Here you see how. Here computer used to take job J1, process it and produce the result. So job J1's task is over. After some time, computer will take job J2, process it and produce the result. Here computer will not take 2 jobs at a time. Okay. And after some time, computer will take job J3, produce it, process it and produce the result. So here you see the jobs used to be taken one by one in a sequential order and the result used to be produced in a sequential order. Okay. So, but what was the disadvantage of batch operating system? The disadvantage was that suppose if computer is stuck with one job for a long time, then other jobs will have to starve. Here you see, if the computer is stuck with job J1 for long time, maybe for 2 or 3 days, then job J2 and job 3 will have to wait for 2 or 3 days because they don't have any other option but to wait. Okay, so this was a main disadvantage of batch operating system. So that's why this operating system is not in use today. So today we are using multi-programming operating system. Actually today we are using a combination of multi-programming system and multi-core operating system. How? Let me tell you. You see, I have already told you that in order to run a program, that program must be brought to the RAM first. Then after that it can run. So think it is a RAM. Okay, it is a RAM, and here several programs can run at a time. Okay, but in order to make things clear, I will take an example of 4 processes: P1, P2, P3 and P4. Since 4 processes are residing at a time in a RAM, why these 4 processes are there in a RAM? Just to run. So if these 4 processes are residing in a RAM at a time, then obviously the result will be faster. Okay. For example, there is one CPU, and also in order to execute we need CPU. Okay. So there is one CPU and CPU will be given to P1. Okay. Suppose P1 has executed for more than 70%. And after some time CPU will be given to P2, and after some time CPU will be given to P3. Again after some time CPU will be given back to P1. So in this way all the programs will execute almost simultaneously. Okay. Here actually the main concept is that multi-programming means what? Multi means more than one. So here more than one program will reside in the main memory at a time. So the processing will be faster. Okay. And don't worry, it's a big topic. So I will teach you multi-programming separately in process state diagram. Okay. And also in the memory management unit, you will learn more about multi-programming. So now let's come to multi-core operating system. So what is multi-core operating system? Core means what? Processor. More than one processor. You might have heard quad core, dual core, octa core. Okay, quad core means what? 4 CPUs. Dual core means what? 2 CPUs. Octa core means what? 8 CPUs. So if there are more number of CPUs, then the execution will be very, very fast. You see how? Here you see already 4 programs are there in the RAM. Okay, and suppose if there are 4 CPUs, imagine a case of quad-core processor. If there are 4 CPUs, CPU 1, CPU 2, CPU 3 and CPU 4. If all these 4 processes are assigned, if all these 4 CPUs are assigned to these 4 processes, then you see obviously the result will be very fast, and also moreover the processing will be parallel, because here process P1 is utilizing CPU 1, process P2 is utilizing CPU 2. Okay, so here there is a parallel execution. So you see, it's a combination of multi-programming as well as multi-core. How? Since 4 programs are present in the RAM, so it's a concept of multi-programming. And second thing is that since more than 1 CPUs are there and the execution are being done parallelly, so it's a concept of multi-core. That's why today's operating system are combining this concept, multi-programming and multi-core. Okay. And also one thing is there, suppose if there is a crash in one program, it will not affect the other program because other programs are running with their CPUs. Okay, so this is the main advantage of multi-core operating system. And the last one is real-time operating system. It's not important for the GATE syllabus, but I will give you a brief overview. What is real-time operating system? These operating systems are used. These operating systems are used in an organization where the I just give you an example. Suppose in an organization where lots of projects are going on, like organizations like TCS, Wipro, these big organizations, they have lot more projects which are being run. Okay, so these projects should be completed within a particular deadline. Within a particular deadline, they have to deliver the project to the customer. If they fail in this, then they may have to face a huge loss. Okay, because here the deadline is very important. Here the customer will not wait for longer. They will wait till deadline. And if you don't complete the task, then he may give his project to another company. And also I give you one interesting example. Suppose one space organization, for example ISRO, they want to launch a rocket. So in order to launch a rocket, several factors are to be considered. Okay, like weather condition, geographical location. Okay, and suppose before the launching, suppose they have fixed a date that at this particular day I will launch the rocket. So for that, what the government will do? Government will vacate that village. They will give money to the villagers. Okay, you go and stay to somewhere else for some days because we will launch rocket here. So it will be risky for the villagers to stay here. So for that, government will give them money so that they will stay to some other place, at least for some days. But just imagine if on the day of launching, if there is a system failure happens. If system failure happens, then what will happen? The launching has to be aborted and ultimately it has to be postponed. So what will happen after that? Again, the government will have to give money to those villagers. Okay, because you have to stay some more days because our scheduling, our launching has not yet done properly. Our launching has not done. Okay, so real-time operating systems are being used by the computers to handle these kinds of projects where the accuracy, where the deadline is very important. Okay, So these are about the types of OS, and I hope I have made it clear to you. And after this, I will move to process. I will explain you the meaning of process.